What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So with today's video, we're going to be breaking down the new trailer for Alien Romulus. Now, this is the long-awaited trailer that fans have been, dying to see ever since we got that little tease back a couple months ago, and now we have a pretty big full trailer for the film, but yet it actually doesn't really, spoil a whole lot or really give away a lot about the plot. There's just a bare bones kind of story introduction that we get here, and then a lot of quick glimpses of things that are familiar, but also some things that might be new. It's pretty interesting. I really like this trailer. I just want to say that right off the bat. I love the trailer. Definitely was exactly what I was hoping for in terms of what we get to see here in the content and also the characters and a lot of the world building and stuff. And, I guess without further ado, let's just jump into this trailer and see what we can see in this breakdown here. So the trailer opens up with the character Kaylee Spaney plays named Rain Carradine, who's on their home planet, and it looks like it's, a dark, grimy planet, very industrial-like, and it also is a Weyland-Yutani colony, as we can see some of the atmospheric processors, which are familiar to fans of Aliens, and Hadley's Hope, that colony on LV-426, also had these atmospheric processors that were able to terraform the planet so you could actually breathe without having to wear any kind of spacesuit on the surface of the planet. So that's cool. I love the imagery here. Again, very much harkening back to Aliens and that James Cameron movie. And then the next shot here, we get some quick glimpses of the overview of the planet they're on. I love the cinematography here, just gorgeous, everything in this, production design, the camera, the shots, placement, everything in this trailer looked great. The next shot here, we get to see a close-up of the inside of the ship as the crew of scavengers are heading towards the giant Renaissance station, as they talk about how they don't want to be on this planet forever and planning this heist of the Renaissance station. Whatever they can scavenge in terms of parts or kind of resources could be their big break to get off the planet. Next up are a few corridor shots of inside of the Renaissance station, with them going through these hallways. Very much goes back to the original Alien, as we can see a lot of the architecture really goes back to the designs of that first movie. And then there's this quick glimpse of the character looking down as what appears to be acid burn panels on the floors, where they can burn through several layers of the station, which is again a callback to the character Hudson when he looked down inside of Hadley's Hope and saw, several layers of that station were also burned through with acid. So the next shot of the trailer here is pretty interesting. It looks like it's the character Andy, the android, and he's kneeling down with a familiar blue light that fans will probably recognize from the original Alien movie when it was on the derelict ship, or, whatever was beneath the derelict in that sort of egg silo, that cavern below the ship that housed all the eggs. There was that layer of blue light, the same kind of noise and sound effects here we're getting. Also, it looks like they're within some of the bowels of the station. You can see this part of the station has also been covered in some layer of hive resin, which is another callback, obviously, to the Alien franchise. When the xenomorphs get a hold of something, they're going to cover it in their hive and claim it for their own. Now, another really cool thing about this shot is we can see him carrying some sort of a tube or a capsule, which is holding what might be actually vials of the pathogen or the black goo, the accelerant from the prequel movies that we knew was going to be part of this movie according to plot leaks and the early test screenings. We knew that the black goo, the pathogen, was going to be playing some part in the storyline of this movie and how the aliens actually come to be on this station, which we know is a Weyland-Yutani research station called the Renaissance, which will house a module for Remus and Romulus. Sort of two different platforms within, one less advanced technology-wise and one more advanced. So that's just me speculating here, but it looks like he's carrying what appears to be vials of the pathogen. And it makes sense because he's technically a Weyland-Yutani android. Again, just further corridor shots of the characters walking through the Renaissance station. And now, what we get here is the glimpse that apparently they saw at the CinemaCon footage, which is the character played by Eileen Wu, as she's feeling some chest pains, and she actually takes a handheld device which allows her to x-ray parts of her body, and we can see the small xenomorph trying to break free from her ribcage, which is a pretty horrifying sight. Next up, we get the other sequence that was talked about in the CinemaCon footage, which is the character is trapped in a room with red lights and appears appears to be some sort of a cryogenic chamber, as we can see a xenomorph head on the right hand side and what appears to be an egg on the left hand side, with a facehugger slowly sort of burrowing and scurrying its way out of it towards the characters that are trapped in this room. So my guess is that this is a cryogenic room where they have, face huggers and eggs, obviously trying to store them for later examination and testing probably. And the characters get stuck in here and the eggs probably react to, people being in this room, which is why the face huggers are deployed. Next up, we get a cool glimpse at what appears to be one of the aliens coming out of some sort of a hibernation, or maybe it's molting and it's actually changing its form or its skin, because we can see it uncurling its hand backwards and all of the fingers are coming out. And then later on in the trailer we get some more indications of this being the same alien that's coming out of this sort of molting stage or something. So I love this imagery here, and again, all practical effects, which is littered throughout the trailer. Great touch. So next up, we get quick glimpses of the characters going through the station. Kaylee Spaney wearing the spacesuit that's reminiscent of the spacesuits used in the original 1979 film. Then again, another shot of the alien here. Again, I think this is the same alien that we see glimpses of, but I could be wrong. It's, uncurling its fingers, it's pulling its head up from something. So it looks like this one is coming out of some sort of a deep hibernation state, or maybe molting, like I said, and changing its skin or shedding its skin, which is something that we actually haven't seen on screen in the Alien franchise, which is pretty cool. Next up, we got the Isabella Merced character running away from some kind of alien. She's crawling through tubes or ducts in the station, and then it finds her and it looks like it throws her out somewhere. And then this shot is really interesting here. So this is a quick shot in the trailer when the text is coming up, the alien logo itself, and in this shot here we can see what is probably an alien. We don't know if this is the big chap that they recover, because one of the plot points in the movie is that the big chap does get recovered from the original movie by Weyland-Yutani, and that's where the experiments begin on the Renaissance station, leading to this xenomorph outbreak. So this could possibly be the big chap curled up, I guess, or whatever is left of it in space, and that's what they recover. Or this could be the alien within this movie, the new alien, curling itself up in a box state, which is something that was actually planned for the original movie, dubbed the box alien, but it was never used. It was never shown on screen. It was only shown in a comic book adaptation of the original movie, which is really cool. It's a pretty deep cut, obviously. Not a lot of people know about this. It's a deleted part of the first movie, and it's something that we haven't seen of the alien's life cycle, so that would be cool to see on screen. But there's also the chance that this is just, the remnants of the big chap, and that's what they recover as it's floating through space. Next shot here, we can see Andy the android again back in the red room sequence where the characters are trapped, and it's cool because it looks like his eyes roll into the back of his head, revealing another set of eyelids that he has, but these ones are stamped with company logos of Weyland-Yutani, so that's interesting. I wonder if that's like a fail-safe maneuver or something when he's in danger, or maybe company override because it's detecting that there's face huggers and alien specimens. Who knows? Hopefully it'll get explained within the movie, but as you can see here, it's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like his eyelids do become the Weyland-Yutani logos. So the next shot here, we can see probably towards the end of the movie, the Renaissance station actually crashing into the surface of a planet. Hopefully this is after all the characters have safely made it off the station, but this is a really cool shot. We don't really get a sense of scale in the Alien movies like this, so I like that. I think the only thing comparable to this would be like when the Juggernaut crashed and rolled back onto the surface of LV-223 back in Prometheus. But I love this shot here. Love the sense of scale, and the CGI and effects look really good here. So the last couple shots in the trailer here, we can see the characters using these pre-pulse rifles that we got, the weaponry on the station. I guess they find it probably in a weapons locker, a weapons cache or something. And it looks like Rain is shooting at a xenomorph through this caging. And then we can also see here in this shot, a lot of the imagery calls back to the first movie, and it looks like she's got like a flamethrower apparatus on her back, which is another thing that we actually saw, I think, in one of the magazines, like Empire or Total Film or something, released like an image where she's holding like this flamethrower thing, and we can see that here. So this is the shot I was talking about. We can see that a xenomorph, it has its hand over its dome, and then it's kind of like pulling out of it, or like its skin is shedding or something. So I think this is like a molting sequence again, which is something that we haven't actually been able to witness on film in any of the Alien movies, really. We've seen like queens change and stuff, or like the eggs and stuff, but we haven't actually seen a xenomorph changing through phases like this, which is really nice, and glad that it's finally gonna happen possibly in this movie. And then the trailer ends with the title alien, I guess the new alien that's going to be introduced, cornering Rain as she's pinned up against a wall here. Again, I love the use of the practical effects. The alien itself looks great. It has a new dome. It's got a crack towards the front of the dome. So really interesting scene here. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's trying to attack her or if it's just got her cornered up against this wall. But I guess that's going to be something that we'll have to see in the film. So overall, really love this trailer. Dug it. Obviously there's tons of stuff to pick apart from it. I probably missed a lot of things too. I'm just kind of pointing out here what I saw in the footage, and then what I know obviously of the plot leaks and stuff, and how this kind of lines up with the footage. And some other cool stuff I noticed, like the box alien, the Weyland-Yutani logo on the android's eyelids, the xenomorph going through this molting state, and the cryogenic chamber, what appears to be maybe vials of the pathogen, the black goo from the prequel films being carried by the android character. Again, just cool stuff that I noticed. But if you guys noticed anything else, let me know what you guys thought of it down in the comments below, and what you guys picked apart from this trailer. Did it exceed your expectations? Was it what you were expecting? How excited are you to see the movie now after we've seen this trailer? I'm assuming there probably isn't going to be another trailer. There might be like a short clip or something that gets released, but for these kind of smaller movies, I say smaller as in a smaller franchise in the eyes of Disney, they're not going to pump out a million trailers, but there probably will be like some, clips and stuff as we get closer to release, TV spots, things like that. I'm excited for the movie. Can't wait to see it when it hits theaters in August. And, there's definitely going to be a lot to pick apart in this movie, I can already tell. So, like I said, share your thoughts down below. If you guys are new to the channel and you like this video, subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I drop new content. If you want to hit me up on social media, you can find me in the links down below. And with all that being said, I'll catch you guys next time.